Hello, dear viewers, and welcome to this second round match between Moroten and nickname in-game Dimas but chloriss on the Discord. And we are getting ready for the nations or the players to pick the nation. And if I could get a sound check, it would be lovely. I know I have at least one viewer currently, Mr. Alcaraz himself, but seemingly the players are about to be ready, and we are in this game be playing on one of the somewhat standard uh, maps. It's gonna be an inland sea used in the last tournament, but this time with point mirror symmetry, which is always a good time. So I am looking forward to this match. I think uh, both of the combination of players and the map is going to provide for a great entertainment value. And while they discuss the who's going first and whatnot, just taking a look at the map itself, we have each player spawning on in different corners of the map with Moroten top left and chloriss down right. And we are looking at a beginning with plenty of marble and a sheep. So I imagine we're gonna see a lot of wonders as the wonder list is looking quite juicy. At least we have the cigarette, which is one of my personal favorites. We also have both the Yasilkaya Necropolis combo, great one, and for the later game wonders, we do have the Mausoleum and the Heliopolis. And the Ishtar Gate is in there as well. Of course, we have other wonders too, especially the Kothon might be interesting. And yeah, could make for a great game. I imagine both players are gonna feel sort of safe in the beginning, as it is quite a large map. We do have quite a large distance between the two players. Um, and it seems we have our first player pick. chloriss has decided to go with artisans and Kush and a schemer, and the random trait they get is witty, one of the better ones in my opinion, very versatile. And Schema, we haven't seen a lot of Schema so far in this tournament. However, I still believe Schema is very strong, and I really like the Artisan pick with Kush. I really think Kush is one of the nations really benefiting from a Wonder Spam strategy. I distinctly remember Magnus pulling that off in his game versus the Purple Bull Moose. A great game. I'll not spoil the result, but uh, the ability to, with the artisans, to just from the get-go get a lot of shrines going with the 50% bonus. That is one of the benefits of playing with Kush. You do start with both stone cutting and trapping divination, and along with that, you do start with the ability to build the shrines that is by the bonus of Kush 50% stronger. So you can get a 3 growth shrine, and especially the, I'll show it right here, the shrine of the Amani is gonna give you 3 civics along with 1.5 orders per adjacent wonder, which is really something that can help a lot with the initial issues Kush may be having. Um, so, so far, a very good opening choice, I'd say. And Schema is just always great, having the ability to get a lot of orders with finding the traps. Let's see how many we do have. Seems to me we have at least 1, 2, 3, seemingly 3 different tribes on the map which if you find them all and the opponent is gonna net you 4 orders from the get-go. Pretty strong overall. Um, that is this bonus I'm talking about. And along with that, you do get a lot of wisdom, which is gonna net you a lot of initial science. And I like this, putting the schema on the initial unit, which is always something that to some players at least, is gonna feel wrong. You do like the schema to be within your capital, netting you a bit of science. However, I really believe having the extra movability and look at this 20% critical chance can give you a lot of tempo. And this governor, is it anything out of the ordinary? Affable. Actually a great governor from the get-go. So no comment on the initial beginning by chloriss right here. Really looks to be a great beginning. Let's see what his opponent. We have Egypt for Moroten, opting to start with the sages. Also, Egypt always a very strong pick in my opinion. We haven't seen a lot of it this tournament, but not a bad call. And look at this. We got a free tech in the beginning, and seemingly we got very lucky and got phalanx straight away. So turn 1, we see an upgrade into spearman. I really can't imagine Moroten being upset about that. That's such a good opening. Spearman, turn 1, all you need. Opting to go with a scholar. Scholar, of course, having a great synergy with the sages, which you love to see. And we see the players going in opposite directions. I would probably have gone. Yeah, I can see why you go in this direction initially. This is also. They had a different free side. I think this is the better side to have the barbarians in, as you would most likely rather go in this direction initially. But damn. Let's see. This, I'll just repeat myself. This is the Wonder List from before. No German Aqueduct, but we have Yasilkaya, Necropolis, always great. The Cigarette, really great. Imagine there's going to be a race for the Cigarette. Although I think Egypt is probably going to net the first wonder in the game. And yeah, this is such a huge draw in the beginning. Gonna give you a lot of tempo. Although he doesn't manage to clear in the beginning, neither did chloriss. So both players having not a lot of issues, but some issues with clearing the first camp before it's spawned. So close beginning. Probably gonna be a landowners, or yeah, we see the second family landowners. A lot of spices, but not anything else to be happy about. And we did take quite a lot of damage, so having we're probably gonna have some issue moving along initially right here. Unfortunate. Do we have any nice promotion? We do have the warden promotion. I'd most likely be going for the warden promotion to get some great defense in here right now. And back to Moroten. We are slowly gaining past the first very quick turns. And we see him opting for the rider. I like the second being riders, and this is also a great start for the rider family, having no issues connecting, so you do get the 2 extra growth bonus from the get-go. Love to see it. Hopefully we'll see a few crits from Dimas or chloriss. I would probably go directly for the marble with this worker right now. We do have the option of a wife. Love to see it. Not the greatest ambitions. I would just take the experience, and it seems like chloriss did just that. We ended up going with besieger. I can see that. That does make some sense as well. And we do spot this barbarian camp, which is always nice. I wonder in which direction Moroten is going. He's probably going for this afterwards. And seemingly just starting to... Ooh, this is interesting. He's already opting to go for drama, which I rarely pick early on, but you will get the free settler, which is always great, along with the option to go for the Odeons and the architecture. And the thing about Odeons, they kind of suck if you get them in the middle game, but getting them early can really net you a lot of value throughout the game. Um, so far, so good. And yeah, I can't get over Spearman from the get-go. That is such a lucky draw, and look at how many ticks you could have gotten. You could have gotten navigation, phalanx, husbandry, drama, police, and military drill. So basically everything was on the table. And I don't know why we are moving out of the city right here. That seems like a mistake. We don't want to take any additional damage on our guy. I would rather have him in the city. We are gonna have some issues moving forward. However, we are only building one settler currently. The second city is opting for worker initially, so it might be alright. I am wondering if we're gonna lose some tempo. Maybe instead of the worker, I would have picked a warrior to help our initial boost, but we shall see how it works out. It's probably gonna be alright, but yeah, we've met 2 already of the tribes, so we are getting 2 orders extra each turn, which is enabling us to harvest a bit. And it's not like it's a lot faster in Egypt currently. He's also sitting back with his spearmen. I wonder if we have any generals. We do not have any generals, and this may be something Moroten could consider in the future. I wonder if we had any governors. We did have a decent enough judge, I say. You could skip putting your initial scholar, although he's gonna give a lot of science, but promoting or giving your initial unit, your general, even though it's a scholar, is gonna net you a lot of extra movement. It's gonna take quite a while to move through this forest. It would be double the tempo initially with the scholar on him, and you may get a few crits now and then. I think there is a great merit to, even if you're going scholar, putting him on a spearman. And both players seemingly scouting up towards the top right corner, although with the rider opening you do have the ability to scout down in this direction, and they should be somewhat even on orders initially, but the science again should actually be quite even, as both players have opted for pretty science heavy opening, even though, yeah, pretty good science from the get-go by both players. But again, that free spearman is really gonna pay dividends for a little while right here. I think the only thing better you could get for an initial sage is with the Greek going or getting directed to architecture. That is probably the best pull you can get. But Spearman is a close second in my opinion, as just having a better unit from the get-go is such a huge tempo increase. Such luck. Very skilled. And I appreciate Magnus in chat for commending my fast turns back and forth. Trying my best right here. Glad to be casting and not playing. It was very stressful playing, but also very fun. I did have my second game in the tournament this weekend. Ooh, actually, and I just noticed this now, Moroten seemingly only having one of the marbles in his initial city. He is gonna get a second one with the Shrine of Ra, um, whereas probably Kush had to build this shrine as well to connect the marble, but he's also having this. He moved his settler initially, which I think is always a good choice. And already having two marbles and a third on the way, it's gonna net you a lot of civics. Look at this. You have a holy city. You have the shrine. You also have orator in here, so you're gonna having civics for days, more civics than you know what to do with. Probably wouldn't be bad to build the stonecutters as well, and then just build some festivals, honestly, when you need the citizens. I think that would be my go. But the more important thing, how are we gonna approach this? And seemingly we're gonna have the players meet very soon. It looks to me like we're gonna go for the Scythians initially. And I honestly think there is a great merit to skip this camp. First of all, it's gonna be more difficult to skip or kill, sorry, as there are no forests to hide in. Also, horse people are easier to kill as they don't get the defensive bonuses, and you can hide in the forest right here. So this is probably the right call. I would I would love if he kept tabs on this upgrade timing. If he could get in and get this down before it upgraded, it would be huge. Having to wait for it to upgrade would be sad. And seemingly we lost a lot of HP initially on the leader. And do we have family issues? No? Why is he weaker? Is that the that is the schema? Uh, yeah, a little weakness on the schema, but shouldn't matter too much. But I think we might have trouble to clear this fast enough. Yeah, it's gonna slow us down for a little while, I'm pretty sure. Going for acolytes and just upgrading them to elder acolytes might be a play we see in this. Let's see, how are we gonna approach this? We could do it if we did it right now. Yeah, look at this, 11 damage. So we are gonna do it just before it's spawning another unit and before it's upgraded into an outpost. And the difference between this and missing this timing window is huge. So again, I really gotta give a lot of props to chloriss / Dimas. So far, great place. I also like this placement of this shrine. At this Shrine of the Armania, I talked about it earlier, but it's going to net you a lot of orders later on when you plot down your wonders later on. And having it sort of close to the city with two of the adjacent tiles nearby is often going to be a pretty good space for this shrine. And my excitement, I gotta slow down just a tad. We do see the third family, also landowners, not much of a surprise there. That is quite often the approach you see, and also Moroten working on his side right here, and he's also gonna kill it just before it upgrades and just before it spawns another unit. So far, very equal tempo, and they've met, so they know kind of what the other player's doing. And yeah, bringing this up right here so you can instantly heal, I think that's the right approach. But the fun thing about this is that both players are sort of expanding in the same direction, which may give us some early confrontations. I always like to see my early confrontations. Um, yeah, and we got it. And we can do 10 damage each turn to this. Also lovely. Won't cause a lot of issues. And we have the third family of choice, which is to no surprise gonna be the Hunter's family, gonna give us the Sentinel and the Slinger bonus. And we even had the Fur inside, so a little bit of a bonus right there. I love the Sentinel bonus. It can really net you some victories you shouldn't be having. But from the get-go, both players are seemingly playing great, and I love that. I also like this just spamming farms, especially as landowners. That's gonna give you some pretty decent value. And remembering to put in a governor also very nice. I think you can, especially with all the extra civics we are getting, I think it's very reasonable to put in a farm from the get-go. And we're already gonna be developed next turn, which is pretty fast. Festivals are gonna be great, and we have 30. Oh, this is disgusting in a great way. We even got Rising Star. Whew. I've had capitals in year 70 without 30 civics production. This is this is this is pretty insane. Um, And I would just continue festival into stonecutter into festival into stonecutter into festival into stonecutter into festival into a lot of acolytes. I think that would be my approach. You would have a lot of orders, a lot of science, and damn, it's very nice. Uh, Cricket Head is saying that chloriss seems to have the advantage if there's going to be conflict going north. And I sort of agree with that, especially the reinforcement route is gonna be an advantage to him, and possibly, as you're saying, the Vandal side might here may provide him with sort of an area where he could get easy control of the sea, making reinforcement even easier. With that said, he is gonna be fighting Spearman, which is from the get-go strong, and Egypt has been scouting down in this direction, so Egypt would already know that down here, and that they actually have a scout down here, they should have some easy expansion opportunity. I wonder what we are looking. Ooh, we bought orders a few times. We bought orders 2 times. I think that's reasonable. I don't like to spam it a lot more than that. I feel like it's gotta be expensive, but that is a telltale sign of a great player uh, having the knowledge about this mechanic and also using it. So that is pretty strong from the get-go. He should have declared war on his opponent. I don't know if they've declared war. No, seemingly not. This is a little tip. If you have a schema leader, always declare war on your opponent. You will get 1 extra order, so no reason not to do it. And how are we looking in Egypt? One thing, having a scholar right here made net us a lot of increase, which may eventually prove really nice. Not having this marble in the city is gonna be a bit of annoying. We may need to build a second shrine in the city to get it, but that's probably alright. But the difference between the civics is, I mean, this is not bad by any means, but it's not at the level of Moreau down here. And I was actually gonna look at. We found 3 landmarks in Kush, whereas Egypt is having. I think they are gonna be ahead. Yeah, they found 7 landmarks, so a bit of an advantage going towards Moroten right there, but the city down here is just marvelous. Ooh, what happened there? We've lost the grand. Oh, she upgraded. Um, she probably leveled up this Grand Vizier, and we got an event, I would imagine, with her opting to go for Grand Vizier. And it's actually not going to change a lot as she's still the governor in here. Now she's just in control of what's being built in here. Having such a strong Grand Vizier early can really benefit you greatly in the beginning if they decide to build what you would like them to build. If they don't, it could be sort of annoying. But going back to Moroten, cleared this side over here. Having a settler, not quite there, but it is being built. And lovely shrine right here. A lot of culture coming in the rider seat. And I like that a lot. A lot of workers. I would like less workers and an approach to go down south. Alright, Problem Gambler, what is the bet this time around? Problem Gambler in chat is saying he would like to win back $10 in this game, and he did lose $10 to me in a bet in another game regarding some doctors, if I imagine, or if I remember. Sorry. So what is the bet this time around, Mr. Gambler? I'd love to get these out of going up, standing right here, and getting these to come to you can be a great asset. It's a small thing, but if Kush right here, instead of going to here and up here and immediately attacking, going to this spot right here is gonna draw these 2 riders out, getting close to you while you're in the forest, and you can take them out easily. I think that is more of maybe you go over here, because then this won't be standing in a scrub. So I would probably move right here if I had the opportunity. One benefit of the schema, you can just stand directly inside the opponent's city, and you can easily tell what's going on, and you will remain hidden. Sometimes it can be a bit annoying being unable to unhide the scout if you would like the scout to help with clearing and stuff like that, but we shall see. We are gonna have a bit of an army for Kush in a little moment. We are gonna have 3 slingers and we have 2 settlers on the way. Are we gonna go all the way to the Scythians over here? Maybe. And we do have a second city, a rider city. I like that choice. I like it a lot. I wonder how much we've actually scouted. Seemingly a lot. Basically enough to see the whole map for Moroten. Problem Gambler, do you think Moroten is gonna go for this side right now? Is that his next side, or is he gonna fall back and go in this direction? Because if he's going for this side, we're gonna have conflict, because I'm certain the next side for Kush is gonna be this side. So you could possibly draw one attention, or one of these guys' attention by standing right here. This should, in theory, see him. Go down here and start attacking. Yeah, standing right here. That's nice. I like that a lot. As I said, maybe this would have been a little better, as this guy may be standing in the shrub, and it's gonna be a bit more troublesome to dealing with him. Yeah. So overall, I like this a lot. I would have liked it a little better if he had moved right here. And Moroten is seeing all this, so he knows exactly what's up. And again, a spearman is a pretty good fight versus the slinger. There is a request for the map vision for this is the map vision for Kush, and Kush also kinda have half the puzzle, but the map is mirrored, so he should sort of know exactly the layout of the lands down here. But he missed out on a lot of landmarks, and he's been spending some of his initial and he bought orders one more time. This is the third time he bought orders. It is gonna get expensive. So his legitimacy is gonna be quite low. I like it for the initial tempo, but there is a cost to it. It's not without an investment. But settler going here, another settler being built and going up top. Great start, but it is expensive, and we do see another spearman. I like that, and we do see another spearman and a slinger coming. Holy, this is aggressive. I personally, if I were Moroten and I do have perfect vision, I would be going south. I think there are some very easy horse people to fight against, and you can almost certainly kill them easily. How did it go, Problem Gambler, with your practice game? With Moroten. I'd love to put in my governor, although she's not the greatest governor, but having basically one extra order in this city it's in essence gonna net you a lot of value by being faster with all your builds. So we're up to 4 cities now by Kush. 4 to 4. Easy clear. Got the pioneer. And another shrine, the Shrine of the Epidemic. I don't know how to pronounce that, but I understand why you build it up here. I like to get at least one of each shrine in each family city. And we currently have 2 shrines down here and 1 shrine here. And the last shrine is gonna be up here. I really like this placement. Look at this. All the farms adjacent is gonna have a bonus. We are in the landowner seat, so these farms are actually providing a lot of value. Very cool, very cool. And remember, this is a map or game between 2 players that won the first map in the very competitive Europe division, or basically not America division. and the competition is fierce. I really like how this game very quickly turned very aggressive. I understand why you might want to go for this, but this terrain right here is actually great for slingers to fight in, as it's a lot of hills and you have a lot of plain terrain without forest, and we do also see perfect information right here. We have a settler coming. Ooh, that is exciting. Yeah, that probably an event, I would imagine. Okay, there is clearly a timer. You gotta go in here and go for this turn. You cannot wait around Moroten. And he doesn't. Great to see. This lovely play by Moroten. Had he been one turn slower, or two perhaps, he would really have struggled right here, but netting this city already, probably a great call, and it is also sort of easy to defend. Although I do give the edge to slingers in this terrain, it's always an advantage being on the defensive. And having one spearman in here, and it's not going to be easy to invade, so it's probably not going to be a lot of offensive prowess for either. And if anyone could go on the offensive, it may as well be Moroten actually, as he does have the very powerful spearman from the get-go. Maybe that is a reason why Moroten is sort of pushing this narrative of going towards his opponent. He knows he got a lot of tempo initially, with him initially getting the phalanx attack, and his tech has been, I'll go back to him, first tech divination, and then he opted for drama, and now he's going towards navigation. Navigation always great with the extra orders, and he's running freedom currently. I like freedom a lot, but I'm not sure I would run it in this setting. He's not really building a lot of growth units, and you could use the extra resources. He's not gonna be rich. Buying wood and iron for his spearmen would eventually drain his money pool. But Kush, without issue, cleared this camp, having the settler all the way down here. So it's not really ready right away. And now we see the sort of the issue of having the Grand Vizier. The Grand Vizier opted to go build for a warrior in here, which probably isn't what you were looking for. We did get the free lumber mill. That's where we see the lumber. I'm pretty sure that was the event for being developed. So the free lumber mill. And I imagine we're gonna see a rider city in here. Even though we got 3 already, I would go for another rider city in here. We can backfill the other families afterwards. No, we are opting for sages. I mean, there is definitely merit to get the sages up. The sages is having a lot of synergy with the scholar, a lot of extra science. So yeah, that is probably alright as well. Here we see Kush opted for slavery instead. But look at the difference in legitimacy. That is quite significant already. And some of that has been due to orders being bought. We have -14, and a lot of it is also due to the named landmarks. We only found 3 versus, I believe, 7, 10. Yeah, that is a huge difference. And we do see the cigarette being built. Probably one of my favorite wonders. Without a doubt, the best initial wonder of the week wonders. It's definitely not a weak wonder. So getting to the cigarette first, very nice. I don't think answering a question in chat from Problem Gambler, I don't think we will have a lot of issues clearing down here as we already have Spearmen. So probably not a big issue. Hello, Purple Bull Moose. If anyone in chat would like to join in on the cast, you're absolutely welcome. This is just having a spearman is just cheating from the get-go. From the get-go. And maybe I could just give a brief recap of the state. We are having Moroten as Egypt playing versus chloriss as Kush down here. Kush has opted to buy quite, again, 20 legitimacy has been used for this initial tempo. We are getting into the dicey part of this investment. You really need to get out ahead of the early game with this investment. And we didn't find any landmarks compared to Egypt, and we didn't get the initial military bonus as Egypt luckily got Spearmen as the free tech from Sages. Yeah, exactly, Purple Bull Moose. It was the free tech. This, looking at this graph, it is gonna be rough. We do have more orders overall as we bought quite a lot from Kush, but I don't know about this. We have plenty of orders to spare in Egypt currently, with the difference in legitimacy, and we are gonna have the option for serfdom next turn, or this turn actually. Standing in the city and defending, nice to see. We can opt to go into serfdom. We opted for colonies. I don't know about that. I can see the value of getting a lot of easy, very easy access, but I still think the extra orders in this stage is better. You're not gonna ferry that many units, but I may be wrong. You could also get this marble up here, which would be nice. But yeah, just having enough spearmen around this area is going to be very strong. And we are having the cigarette. Both players are going with military drill currently. Very nice ambition. Extra stone. We will definitely get that. And I like this. Just a lot of farms in the landowner's seat. Military drill coming up soon. Yeah, and I've commented on it before, but I'll say it again. Kush should really declare on Moroten, as that would let him 1 extra order each turn. It wouldn't cost anything to do it. It would only be beneficial. And he's going south. I imagine he's gonna go for the Vandal side next. Maybe he's gonna go for the Barbarians, but again, the Barbarians are not that big a concern. They're not gonna raid him, so I think it's better to go for the Vandal side. At least I would. But one thing which is very great for Kush is, ooh, we opted to go for the Yaselkaya. I like that a lot. The Yaselkaya is a great wonder. However, it is gonna take a while before it is really gonna net a lot of value. But you will get 1.5 orders as it's close to the Shrine of Amani. And if you can get to the Yaselkaya and the Necropolis combo with the pagan religion in all your cities, you're gonna have the civics to rush in all your cities all the time. But Moroten, honestly, if he wanted, he could almost be aggressive. But I'm not sure he should. But yeah, spending worker turns on buying initially right here. I think that is buying oil. Yeah, I feel like this is a misplay. I really think serfdom would be better. We are seeing an invasion. Seemingly we had an event that prompted this aggression. I should look at the families. In Egypt we are having 3 courtiers. That's really nice. And we are seemingly having 2 kids, 1 righteous, educated, humble philosophy student, our heir right here. That's probably being taught by both a courtier and the... Could... Are we... I think we should teach right here. If we are not already, we should teach. I forgot to check on that. I do apologize to the players on the stream, but seemingly we've been doing a lot and not at all bad either in Kush. We do have an eloquent, intelligent judge, interceded and influenced by our nation. So also a pretty good heir, honestly. We don't have as many courtiers in Kush, but I wouldn't at all say this is bad. And having vision here is nice for Kush. They know what's up. Not sure what they can do about it though. And some of this is Russian. I don't speak Russian, so... No Zoroastrianism as of yet, but we will get it next turn. Yeah, and we've lost the Grand Vizier. I wonder what happened to her. Did we... I wonder what happened to her. She was an orator. She either died or something, but we lost the Grand Vizier, the great orator we had in the beginning. But that was rising in power, so we opted to do something about it. Back to Moroten. He is having a bit of an issue with the invasion down here. Seemingly he will need to bring back something to deal with it, but it is not causing too many troubles currently. Having 1 slinger is probably gonna be enough, and we have 1 more slinger in 1 turn. Interesting, we're gonna go down this direction with the spearman. I can see this not working out, honestly. Having to deal with 4, that is optimistic, without any reinforcement. And he probably doesn't know how many of these Numeridians are on the way to deal with them. He's a zealot. Our leader is a zealot. The seller doesn't really appreciate scholars though, so that is I should be better at looking at events, honestly. Haven't bought more orders as of yet, and I understand why. Probably. Oh, landowners. Maybe the barley convinced them to go for. Four landowners up here, and you do like to have a lot of landowner cities overall, but we are already at 3. We are most certainly gonna be able to clear this without too many issues. Do we have a settler on the way? We do, and we rushed it with civics most likely. Yeah, would love to have your purple bull moose. I can give me 1 second. I may get a co-caster in a second here, which would be lovely. Alright, I am gonna...
Hello stream, hello Boldus.
Hello, I just had to turn you on, so maybe say hello once more.
Check, check, 1, 2, check, check, 1, 2.
Dear viewers, can you hear the beautiful voice of the purple bull moose? Hopefully we'll get a confirmation in a second that they can hear you loud and clear. And sorry I didn't see the message. I had muted Discord as I was streaming. So
yeah, no sweat. I figured if I was gonna pop in and go an observer anyways, I might as well join you on stream.
Yeah, I love that energy. Love it, love it, love it. Well, so what do you make of this game state currently?
So I have been not exclusively, but like probably 6 out of 10 games that I've been playing in my out of tournament play has been against Moroten. So I am quite intimately aware of his play style here at this point, and this is very interesting. In all the games I've played, I haven't seen him bust out his Egypt, but he has been talking a little bit about it as far as like some game strategy is concerned. So him getting the early roll on Phalanx, he's doing good aggression with it. His clear speed is excellent for Egypt.
Yeah, I really think he's off to a great start as well, and that initial tempo you get from just having a spearman from the get-go really opens up the game to you. You can go in so many different directions, and a lot of directions not normally accessible to going with a scholar Egypt, where you probably be playing pretty tall and pretty defensively. Suddenly you have the possibility of being the aggressor, which is fun. Not saying he's gonna be the aggressor, but he could.
I mean, coming all the way up for the Jeanette is going to be a pretty forward settle, all things considered, deep onto the enemy side, especially considering the, what are we, an inland sea game?
We are.
So considering that and the amount of coastal movement they have available to them, that it's definitely a very aggressive, ballsy opening settle here. Speaking of exactly the way that could be attacked is right down here with the Vandals on this little peninsula coming out from the mainland Kush. If that player was able to grab this, then Dymas would be able to easily stretch out to this marble, jump over to the sea, and have 2 vectors of attack to be able to kind of pincer in this forward settle.
Yeah, that would be strong. I keep looking at the legitimacy. We've seen Kush. He's called Dymas in game and chloriss on Discord. I will mainly call him Kush. No offense, hopefully taken by the player. But anyways, I've only seen one player buying this much orders, and that was Class Koala. So either he's a genius or he's really playing a high risk, high reward game with all the orders he's been buying. Kush, we are up to 35 legitimacy spent on orders already, which is an insane number to me. I I wouldn't be comfortable with that investment in my or that dip in my legitimacy this early
It's
in the game.
definitely a scary thing. I find myself typically getting a hangover after a schemer opening personally. I'm not sure I have a mastery of the playstyle, but if I am going to be going for schemer and trying to buy as many orders as he is, then he's kind of working in the right direction. He's already gotten resourceful, utilizing all those extra orders on those harvests to get that cognomen up. And on top of that, he's got some very achievable ambitions here to further boost that overall legitimacy to kind of get him back caught up to where he should be. Established state religion is only 100 civics away. He already has Zoroastrian, I believe, probably just came online just last turn because it doesn't have a matriarch or patriarch yet. So that's another 10 legitimacy coming his way. Coastal buying is very prevalent, especially on an inland sea map like this. So getting those 20 ocean tiles isn't far out of the question, especially because he just cleared this other coastal site and about to force march in. Let's see where he plops it.
Yeah, he just got the Zoroastrianism in his nation, didn't he? Yeah, he did. So he should be able to adopt the state religion next turn, which is gonna help. But yeah, I really like this game so far. I really think both players have just arrived with a clear idea of something great. And they are doing it very differently, but yet providing a very entertainment game. We have a drought.
Very interesting. A lot of food down already for the Kushites, but it does seem that they are running into the classic issue where that is also the majority of their food. We only
Yep.
have what? A couple of nets that are only gold based. These crabs will help, but
Yep. They are
it's gonna be
they
tough.
are running a deficit. That push down with the Zealot spearmen to the barbarian camp. It is looking dicey for Moroten. He's probably gonna be alright with the reinforcement coming, but he was cutting it kinda close. But this is probably the most difficult spot to clear, as the rest is gonna be horse people. Very easy to kill them with spearmen. Yeah,
Right, looks like Moroten is going to be paying the tax to keep the barbarian raids from happening. So that's 90 food out of pocket. And his Duke, his second in line, looks like he chose a commander archetype. Very aggressive children bit setup here out of the Egyptian player. Between a very high-powered zealot, 6 wisdom is very impressive.
yeah, that's he's also humble and educated and righteous. Such a strong zealot from the get-go. Uh,
Oh, we got a snap pick on pickup for that national religion. So it immediately came through, first event up, and they locked it in and pulled off that additional
we
ambition.
we
So very solid.
we do see the ability to pick the thoughtful option. 100 free extra science for Kush, that drought event that sometimes spawns. So that
Oh,
was
nice.
an extra 100 science, which is uh, always lovely, and especially lovely this early in the game.
Oh yeah, essentially 3 1/3 turns worth of scientific output all in one press of a button is definitely nothing to hate on.
That is probably the best button in the game, right about now, I'd say. Um, I I really like this very aggressive, or not aggressive towards the player, but aggressive in the sense that you are spending all your available buttons in the beginning by Dimas or by Kush, buying all those orders and getting basically ahead in the initial tempo versus a player that got a free spearman in the beginning. That is interesting.
To a certain extent, you got to know what you're up against. I mean, as soon as that scout catches the glimpse of the first spear that was out there, and he sees that it's not a mercenary unit, then you know that a massive high roll that you're up against. So any thoughts of aggression go immediately out the window.
Yeah.
So, and he doesn't exactly have the best, most secure border. He's on the lowlands versus the Jeanette up on the hills here. So range is not going to be in his favor going into this engagement. There's no cover in case more range comes to back up slingers behind the spears. So it's not exactly a very safe spot up here in the north for Kush.
Nope, not at all. I like he's already started to build the road connecting the entire east side of the kingdom, or his kingdom, with roads is gonna net a lot of orders in the long run. So that's smart.
Now we're seeing a lot of really good infrastructure out of both of the players. Another large road network coming in for Egypt, and we're already seeing the barracks has come down on turn 32 here for Kush. So they're definitely got their eyes on, the solid urban advancement. So I imagine that we are going to see continuous science increases here out of the Kushite player. It'll be interesting to see if they're able to keep up with that Scholar Sages combo.
Yeah, I don't know how I feel about this tech though. Spoked wheel. It could be for the counselor position, and getting
Mm.
that chancellor early with the now somewhat accessible wisdom chancellor with the schemer could maybe be a reason for going that direction. Surely he's not planning to go a lot of chariots into what seems to be a mass spearman.
Yeah, I mean, I'm having a hard time wrapping my head about even where this could lead him in the strategy. Even if we are considering the fact that he is looking just to fill his council, that's not going to increase your science until you actually get portcullis unlocked, and even then, that's a long tech path to go where that's not going to be leading you into a advanced military unit. It's really going to help your game state because you already know there are spears on the board, so you know the majority of their forces are going to be spears because why build a weaker unit? So, especially because the Kush player also had access to steel in the very same tech hand.
Exactly. I'm a bit puzzled by this, but I love when the players are surprising me, doing something different. That is the opportunity to learn, or to pick them apart later when they clearly made a mistake. Both great outcomes in my book.
Yeah, deviation from the normal gameplay, deviation from the normal meta. That's either a cause for celebration or concern. So we'll see which it is for the Kushite player.
I like to do something out of the ordinary. I had my second tournament game yesterday, and I kind of I would have loved to do something out of the ordinary, but it seemed like a very standard game to me with a tactician opening and just science. But yeah, I like
Nice pick up on an ambassador for Egypt, dropping in a 5 wisdom,
yeah.
so 3 culture per city.
Yeah, that's nice. You like to see that.
That's very nice.
And Cigarette is gonna be online next turn, and we both players are building the barracks already and garrisons. I love players building garrisons early. I think it's a sign of a great player remembering to just get those garrisons right away.
All those orders add up, especially the earlier you get them. So that every single little bit of additional movement that you can have behind your workers, or even having the orders to utilize a full extra worker turn over turn, really makes the difference in the long run. So yeah, every single one of those 0.5 boosted up to 0.7 with the adjacency to 2 barracks really can increase the speed of your nation.
Really.
I'm confused just as much by the Egyptian tech pick here. Polis.
Yeah, that what? Why did we go in that direction?
Literally any of the other 3 techs I could make an argument for. Citizenship is going to get you to your four laws.
Maybe
Husbandry you need for that.
if you look at his tech tree, he's looking at land consolidation. Probably.
Really?
I don't see a lot of land consolidation resources on the map.
I'm seeing 3 groves in his landowners seat.
Yeah, the 3 spices, and that's about it. There's some lavender down south and double silk if it gets all the way down in the Meridian side.
Yeah, especially because of the fact that he's putting his garrisons down. He has the access to 2 very decent laws here between either architecture or citizenship. Personal preference for citizenship and the orders. But architecture wouldn't be a bad pick if you just wanted to take your science to the moon, especially with your additional culture coming out of your ambassador here. But either of those technologies would be excellent towards getting your unique unit. The argument could be made that you don't want to go ahead and start that because you don't have access to horses yet, but here in the exact same hand is husbandry. So I'm having a hard time wrapping my head around why he wouldn't go for in that direction. He does have colonies unlocked, so these horses sitting just outside of his borders are very easy for him just to reach out to and grab.
Yeah,
Um, Plus, where is his? Yeah, he already has developing culture inside of his riders'
yeah.
family seat. So
While he's in colonies, he should definitely grab a few horses up top because there are not really an easy horse approach besides just buying it with. Maybe he could get it with border boost, but I think he's gonna need to buy a few tiles to ensure he's gonna get the horses. So while he is in the colonies, he should opt for that. I like to be in colonies for only a few turns and then quickly going back to serfdom because I really like the 5 extra orders, especially early. It's gonna add a lot of value.
I think that's absolutely the right mindset. Colonies is fantastic. It really is, especially important on maps like this. In fact, the game that I played Moroten at first for the first time was on an inland sea map. We were doing a Persia versus Carthage game in the last year's tournament, and the tile buying was a big reason as to why my nation was a little bit more successful in our aggression against his. So it'd be interesting to see if. So it is nice to see that he is picking up on that additional tech to be able to go in, buy that additional mobility, because mobility is everything. I mean, if we're talking about serfdom being excellent for the orders, then the amount of orders that you save on road networks, then the amount of orders that you even further save through that coastal connection is just it's a massive savings overall. So I would like to see him utilize that, but you're right. You want to be in that law for as little time as possible so you can switch back over to serfdom and get those 5 orders turn over turn.
Yeah. I often during the mid game where you kinda have those armies looking at each other with more orders than your current workers, but not quite enough orders to push in. I think that's the ideal time to switch for a few turns into colonies and just buy all the tiles you need for the late game, basically.
100%. I mean, if you're talking about on a judge ruler, that's only 200 civics, but on anybody else, that's what?
It,
200 to switch it the first time, 250 to switch it the second. So it's
it,
it's not cheap to do that flip flop.
but it is worth it. Sometimes,
Yes.
sometimes after I got the civic boosts or something,
Hmm.
it also it depends on the map, of course, and on the game state for obvious reasons. But the drought ended, and I imagine both players are being quite happy about that.
At Kush especially. Not as hard on Egypt with their additional river adjacency towards their farms. It's not as brutal on the deduction from that, but yeah, both players have to be celebrating a little bit.
I see a note put down by Kush. I really want to know what is happening there, but I also don't know where should I build a second scout for this. I wonder if it's just in this direction in general, as he has not scouted at all towards the southern part of the map. Uh, Seemingly, he's opting for, yeah, a really big decision currently if he would like to go north with his army or going south and trying to clear. It appears to me that Moroten is sort of getting ready to continue the expansion down south on his side of the map. And we don't really see that move being made by Kush as of yet, although there is a warrior on the way. But yeah, we shall see.
There's that battle back and forth. I mean, Kush is currently already out expanding Egypt, only by one city, but it's enough to make you feel secure. We do have another settler finishing up for the Kushite player here in Kerma for next turn. So there is no place for it to drop yet. I wonder if he's going to be going for this Vandal site on the peninsula. That would make the most sense based off the position of his army.
And he just cleared the invasion from the Vandals, so I'm almost certain he's going to go in that direction. But we do have 2 settlers from Moroten or Egypt, so he's gonna be able to go down south and quite quickly expand. But he's getting invaded again and again by these Moroten. He's really pissed them off somehow. I'm not exactly sure what he said about their mother, but we'll know eventually.
Let's take a peek. Are they their opinion is based off of mostly attacking their units. -10 for the ambassador, so that schemer isn't doing him any favors there. But there isn't really anything in here outside of those attacks that has particularly set them off. They do appear to be organized, so they are more than just raiding, but just a full-on invasion coming in from the 3 individual camps down there. Luckily, he has spears, so
yeah, he should have a lot of issues clearing these, but clearly he has taken some kind of event to make them attack him. If Kush had been down in that area, it would be so easy for him to go in and clear the sides, as most of the horses went north to mess with Moroten, but well, that's not the case. One thing for this game though, if the game continues to go on, I think the advantage is gonna go further and further into Kush's side of the equation, as in my opinion the combination of having Sentinel and also the Kushite pyramids is gonna add a lot of value. In my opinion, Kush is one of the best nations in the late game, so there is sort of a timer. As far as I'm concerned, you need to get ahead as Egypt, because if you're going into the late game with Egypt versus versus Kush, I think Kush is often gonna win that match.
yeah, you do have to apply pressure against the Kush. If they wanted to turtle, they absolutely can, and this map is no exception. There is a lot of these mountain chokes that even just a couple of forts built by any unit in the Kushite nation could sit back, turtle on the existing 6 cities, and honestly build up enough where he could still be a threat, even if Egypt took over the entire rest of the map. Their innate infrastructure is really just that powerful, especially when they get access to polytheism and are able to get their shrines out in every city.
We do see Egypt doing the right things, though. He is kind of running away with the science of here from the get-go. A lot of that is due to his excellent family and courtiers, but also having sages, although only 2 cities with sages. When I opt for a scholar in the beginning, I like to get a lot of sages down quickly, but I honestly see the reason he opted to riders when he expanded towards his opponent.
What would you say the reason for the second rider's location was?
Honestly, I think that I would have settled for Sage's City. I think I just liked the extra science at the beginning, but he at that time had scouting information on his opponent, and I think he knows the front is gonna be that top right corner of the map, so having his military cities in that direction makes some sense. But then he opted for Sage's City in the end, and that kind of threw me off. I thought maybe he would like to spam a lot of spearmen and trying to do something very early, but yeah, then he didn't. So
It is a very different game, two very different styles of econ. If we're going between them, Egypt obviously is leaning a lot more heavily into their science, but their actual base economy is falling pretty far behind the Kush. Um, Even on stone production, which is their best, producing 66, we were at 94 coming out of the Kushite player.
we have
200 gold per turn. Everything's in the positives, even wood.
we have 39 to 25 improvements in the favor of Kush. So he is by a pretty large margin getting further and further ahead. He's got a new Grand Vizier. That's the second Grand Vizier. Uh, this time a builder building a warrior and a warrior.
Oh, that's
Uh,
disgusting in this position.
you don't want warriors. Not at all. I wonder
No, but
if
I
we
definitely
could.
do want a builder.
Yeah, that's true.
Shave one turn off of improvements in every single city that doesn't have a pre-existing governor. I mean, if you're talking about really pushing this order advantage that the schemer gives you over the sprint advantage from characters that the scholar gives you, then this is that slow burn that you're looking for. That just kind of increases that slow burn to, well, a medium burn.
Yeah, that is not wrong. Not wrong at all.
Also strict on top of that, so all of these warriors coming on now are going to get that a little extra nudge in the right direction for some extra gains in XP.
We are seeing
Strong play
him
out of the Kush.
we are seeing him spreading Zoroastrianism, and he did get the Yashilkaya, so he will need to spread it for getting that value. But it's already in two of his cities, and seemingly he's just gonna make a push to play with Zoroastrianism for the rest of the game, and easy clear on the Vandal side, and it's a very strong side.
I will say that they might be overcommitting on the Kushite side to their raw resource economy, especially just considering what their science rate is currently compared to the turn in the game. They are just at baseline. So I would like to see, okay, more pyramids. Yes, I would like to see some more barracks come down. So that way, all of these loose citizens that have been produced in every single one of his nation, two in the landowner's seat, just so that we can get those filled out as soon as possible.
Yeah. How do you like to approach religion in this stage of the game? Would you like to opt for legalism or spreading with disciple to more cities?
Ooh, it depends on what cities already have the religion. So, taking a peek, you have this kind of rural location that is the seat of Zoro. The capital has gotten Zoro spread to it, but that's it. I would like to see it on anywhere that I plan on producing a whole bunch of officers in. I would like to get the spread there first, just so the culture can start ticking. And then with the more cities it's in, it has a larger radius to be able to naturally spread to other cities. So I typically get the spread done first to at least 2 or 3 key cities before trying to upgrade it and netting the civics gains.
Yeah, makes a lot of sense. We're seeing a lot of, at least on these turns, we do see some tile buying, so we are using that colonies. It would maybe make sense to rush down, buy down before your opponent gets control of the marble and gets the sea route over this southern tip of the top map, if that makes sense. Getting down to the crabs and to the 2 marble as soon as possible, so you could go over the narrow sea.
Yeah, I mean, you're talking about leveraging advantages, and you are able to take a look over at the Kushite player. They have one law passed as far as Moroten is concerned, and that's slavery. He knows the Kushite is going up the right angle of the tree to be able to obtain serfdom or navigation to get their hands on colonies. So yeah, while they still have that advantage with the colonies advantage, they should take advantage of it as much as they can.
Yeah. And I really feel like there is sort of a race, or there should be a race in the head of Moroten, as border boost is maybe still be on the table, and it actually is in the draw pile currently. If Kush is get a border boost, he's gonna grab a lot of resources, I would assume, by by that Arabian Sea, which is gonna enable a land bridge basically. So I get why you are tile buying aggressively right here as Ash Egypt. I think that's an excellent play, and Egypt also managed to go down and clear another side, so he is actually playing 7 to 7 cities currently, and just having spearmen versus these horse people are making it easy.
Yeah, these 2 spears and 1 slinger is going to be more than enough to clear out the next 3 tribal sites. Hopefully he doesn't completely ignore this Vandal's location over here. He is aware of it because he's putting the pressure on the Kush's mirrored position. So hopefully he doesn't let that whole bunch of raids pour in behind him while he is clearing out the south here.
It's funny, this is very much on science, clearly advantage to Egypt, but on economy, clearly advantage to Kush. It's gonna be interesting how this is gonna pan out. The number of workers, we have 6 workers in Egypt and 8 workers in Kush, so quite close.
Well, yeah, I mean, hold your breath till next turn. Egypt has 1, 2, 3 one-turn workers about to pop out on the very next turn.
I see. That's about to change a whole lot very soon. I'll hold my breath.
Ooh, big purchase. That additional tile coming down, it grabbed exactly what you were talking about. That 1 additional tile jumped to the coast and grabbed that marble for him, giving him an official foothold on the Kushite Peninsula.
Yeah, and I would probably continue, see if I could get all the way down to the crab if I could afford it, but we do have decent money currently. I think there is merit to continue south, because I think a border boost would enable your opponent to get the same. Although right now you do have at least some passage to your opponent, so it's gonna be at best equal. And he's getting the horses. I really like this by Moroten currently. Great play, great play.
Yeah, I do think going for the crabs is the right call. Not only is that going to be giving you that extra resources, but you're increasing the total number of tiles that the Kushite player is going to need to leave a unit on to keep a landfall from being made. So
Yeah.
if a whole bunch of them drop down, then that's going to club up a good amount of his army if he wants to be 100% certain that no Egyptians are going to slip behind his back line.
Yeah. And I mean, it's some pretty good tiles. It's 2 marble tiles and crap, and maybe even get the marble on the other side of the... Yeah. And we do
For sure,
see...
but if you're greedy enough to improve that marble, I promise you that the Kushite player will hopefully punish that.
That is true, but it's also just denying the marble for the opponent, basically.
Agreed.
And we do see a marble being built quite quickly, and I would imagine when the marble is done being built by Kush, he's gonna try to build a stone cutter, trying to grab what's available to him on that little peninsula. But we shall see. We are seeing navigation, so in 5 turns he could buy his own tiles. If
See if 5 turns is not too late.
Yeah, it could be. It could be. I don't know where all the civics went for Kush. Seemingly he's had a great civics income. I know he rushed, I think, 1 settler with civics, so maybe that's the main drain of his civics. But he had a great income of civics, and still he's only 1 law. I'm not quite sure.
I mean, I know he did, grab the national religion, but that was many turns ago at this point.
Yeah, that's true.
Has he upgraded his religion at all? Nope, no upgrade set to the religion, so that's not it.
But he is building the religious wonder. Okay, he's built 2 wonders and adopted a religion, I guess, and bought 1 settler with civics.
I'll do it.
I guess that will do it, yeah.
Fourth law in 1 turn for Egypt. About to come down. More than enough civics in the bank. So that is likely to get turned on almost immediately. And we do have a scholar, no judge, no builder. So it's going to be a full hard build for those additional strongholds. But yes, okay. So we have one purchase all the way out from Per Nemti and Digenet. Both also purchased the horses in both of those locations. And I'm assuming we took the time to. No, not yet. We haven't imported horses into the rider's capital, but that will be 3 locations he'll be able to get his unique unit out of. However, there is not nearly enough culture in these 2 front cities that are going to be able to help him claim that even more.
It's gonna take a while, but he will at least be able to build it in his rider seat if he would like to, and I think there's a lot of merit. One thing, Kush is about to hit strong very soon, and that could open up some options for him. He would be able, if he would like to, build the museum. Great wonder, especially great with having such a strong capital as he's having. So I think that could be a play, but also getting the tech card for his unique unit, which is a very defensive power. I would like to get that, I think. But
Absolutely, but it's
it,
going to be slow coming. I mean, he is choosing to build a inquiry right here in his capital, which is going to net him an additional 2 turns, essentially, worth of science upon a completion. But in 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 locations, he's building out warriors alone. I
yeah,
suppose, and he's seeing himself as similar to his opponent, and he knows his opponent's ahead and
it's the
learned
Grand
on.
Vizier.
Oh, it's the Grand Vizier.
It's the Grand Vizier. Ooh, that
The
scout took a beating. Almost died. We see a border boost for
He's
what
thinking about it. It would be an amazing border boost.
I see no reason not to go. The only reason would be if you planned on getting an additional settler down, and he is maybe looking to do it, but that would be down by the corner, and yeah, you should just get border boost straight away, and he is doing
Absolutely.
exactly that.
Yeah, directly to the east of Hebenu is going to be a whole bunch of these hills grabbed, which on their own means absolutely nothing. But the fact that that's going to bring your existing borders further out towards this coastline is going to be able to make that colonies purchase to connect the north to the south via water much easier. Something that might not even be easily replicated over on the Kushite side.
Yeah. Such a strong border boost. I mean, eventually we're gonna see a border boost from Kush as well, so they might get borders similar by then. But for now, at least, great pickup for the border boost. This is the map where you might want to delay the border boost for a little while, as having borders on like a sea map, inland sea like this, is often pretty valuable, as the sea route is going to be the fastest to transport your units. You see the leader being ill in Egypt, so
Wonder if he's going to take the time to boost that wisdom even just one more here.
that is
I
going to
have to
be a
admit, I would be furious if I was Kush. If
but
I had a builder Grand Vizier and all they were doing is pumping out military units, I would be very upset.
yeah, but that is the reason with you don't like to have Grand Viziers. Although I often end up picking them anyway. I feel like the option to get them is often better than the alternative. We are seeing the leader being changed. We no longer have the schemer. We are having our judge. I don't know if the leader died. Yeah, he died doing severely ill. But a judge leader is a great pickup in this current game state we're in. So I would be quite satisfied with a judge leader and an elegant, intelligent at that. So great
Oh
pickup.
yeah, you can't be upset about that.
And I think we could pick up an ambition before with 6 Kushite pyramids, but maybe I'm mistaken because that would have been such an easy pickup. But seemingly we did something else, and I don't know why. They both opted with the stockpile 2000 food, and I hate that ambition.
Well, it's nice that you can also just simply buy the food. But yes, stockpiling, meaning that you're not utilizing it on settlers at this point where you're still expanding. You're not utilizing it with further upkeep from additional workers that you're building in units or specialists that you're looking to get built. There's just so many uses for food that the fact that you want to just not use 2,000 of it just never quite seemed correct.
Yeah. To be fair, they seemingly are both just spamming farms with the landowners. And eventually they might get there. They do have decent food income, but there's a long road to 2000. If you have a game with like traders and you have 4 crabs in the capital and the opponent does as well, and everything is just food all over, it can be quite easy. Ooh, look at this. We do see Egypt basically asking the question, what are you going to do if I position to aggressive spearmen in position to attack? What is your response? And we see a warrior response coming in.
We have a heckler promotion. We have a horsebane promotion. Not particularly useful, but I suppose when it comes to the later game, expecting the 4 laws that you currently have up on your Egyptian opponent, horsebane isn't a bad long-term investment. These spears are doing 7 and 8 damage when not across this river, but they do have to get across the river.
At least Egypt is shown as weaker, so that's gotta help a bit with the confidence. With that said, our
I
army is spread all over the world.
Very true, and we do not have the navigation play for another 2 years to be able to build our borders. That way, that long excursion becomes a lot shorter with that coastal connection.
Yeah,
If I was the Kushite player here, I would definitely be chopping these woods directly to the north and west of the Dyax River, just so that way, when the spears do eventually move in, your Sentinel Slingers be able to not get any reduction in their damage.
yeah. It's either that or move further back, but eventually those woods would be lovely to get chopped, as that could be a staging ground for onagers and slingers and archers coming in to take your city.
Exactly. Those hills overlooking the lowlands is exactly what we were talking about earlier. But right now, his best defense is that river. So I can definitely make sense to me as to why he wouldn't try to fall back and simply cede that low ground initially until he at least has eyes on a couple of slingers that are still 2 and 4 turns out from even being on the front lines.
And clearly it worked. We did force move back.
I can fortify.
Egypt is having the ability now to adopt his pagan religion, which is always great. We are having pagan religion in how many cities? Three cities, so not a lot, but better than nothing. And the ability to build courthouses already.
Did we double down shrines in the capital? Or did we not have the 4th shrine down yet?
I'm not certain actually. We did in Kush, we did, but yeah, I don't see it. However, I do see the stronghold being built, so horse supply is also being built. So in 3 turns, we are having light chariots on the map. We haven't bought an additional tile this turn as of yet. it would be a great pickup to get the last crab down here. We did get the border boost, which, as you said, picked up all the hills, which is also going to be great for our iron production eventually.
If I was the Egyptian player, I would be buying these 3 tiles directly. So in his second Rider City, directly to the south of his horse tile that he bought all the way out from, I would buy these additional 3 tiles to get the gems into my border and then build a hamlet on there to crush it. Really fast tracking the second city to developing culture, so you have a second place to actually build out your unique unit.
I would have gone down and get the crabs.
Oh yeah, at least grab that last tile. There's no reason not to. Grabbing that last tile will grab you so much more coastline, not to mention that marble, like you said, for the denial.
Yeah.
And he only has 2 turns before that stonecutter specialist comes online.
Exactly. You are on a counter or a countdown timer. I was trying to say.
Yeah, if he doesn't get that, that will seriously be a missed opportunity.
Yeah, he's so close, and he could have grabbed it last turn, I'm almost certain. We are seeing the science is improving by a fair margin currently in Kush, which is exactly what he needs to do.
It's very solid to uptake. Where did that additional science come from?
Some of it must be his intelligent leader.
Mm.
And he is spamming inquiries with 35 civics. So that is quite a lot of extra science. He also got a spearman.
17 of our science in Egypt is coming directly from the leader. So once you take that off the board, it'll drop you down to 51. So he will actually go behind his opponent. Although I said the zealot sporting his 7 wisdom is no slouch in that particular regard. Also, this is a very strong boy.
And also scholar leader currently with all the archives he's having from his Sage's City.
You're right.
Although he only has 2 Sage's City, which is...
yeah, not how I would play it, but you can't argue with results.
You can. You could get better results. I mean... I'm gonna make an attempt. I see no reason why...
okay. Oh no, we have a zealot here. For a second I thought he was gonna lose his spear in the south here on Egypt.
No, he's fine, he's fine. But that's what we were talking about before. He had such an easy time expanding down here with the spearmen. So
yeah, just 2 units alone. Another settler coming out in 2 years, so the expansion is right on pace.
Yep. He's gonna be ahead by a fair margin, and I don't see Kush anytime soon clearing that barbarian side down south with 5 units around. It's gonna take a little while. Maybe if he gets his unique unit tech card in the capital, they could do it. But I don't think it's gonna be easy. Also, by that time, he may be threatened up top. Okay, Egypt bought a tile to connect his borders all the way in the top. He will, however, be missing. Oh, we rushed that stone cutter. And we got the crabs. Yeah. You missed out. You missed out, Moroten. You could have gotten a lot right here if you had gone south instead of north initially. That is a mistake. Missed opportunity.
That's a shame. That could have been a very defining fact that only Egypt would have access to use this border to jump over the strait. Now both players, this is going to be a lot more contested than it was a second ago, and there's no reason why he should have lost that. He literally just went north just to buy more additional tiles.
Almost always, if you're competing for something, go for that. And that was, maybe he didn't realize it was a competition. Maybe he didn't think about, oh, he's gonna get, a stonecutter specialist and then ding ding. It's also always easy when you have the entire vision as we do, but yeah, that was a small mistake, but the result could be quite severe later on in the tournament. We see a portcullis coming up, and I actually like this quite a lot. Portcullis is a great way to make up some science if you are behind. And we are just seeing specialists being built in most build queues currently. And soon the science is going to be somewhat equal. However, Egypt is opting to go for scholarship, and that is wild to me.
Not a lot of scholarships so far in this tournament, so it's very interesting to see a player actually come and commit to that aggressive of a tech play. Scholarship in 9 turns is not too long, though, as far as a detour is concerned, especially when you have access to your 6 strength UU.
Yeah, and I think he can honestly afford this detour because it is exactly what we said earlier. Kush is going to be somewhat slow in the beginning, but they are going to accelerate later. However, getting scholarship, that is one way to really ensure your advantage in the late game. So I like this quite a lot.
Yeah, his cities are no slouches either. 3 in double digits. So there is certainly a lot of power coming out. I'm surprised that his frontline city is already producing as much technology as it currently is with no governor attached to it. That is got to be from the scholar bonus here in the Sage's Seat, but still very powerful in and of itself. 2 additional citizens ready to go. So I would like to see some buildings come in here. We have the garrison.
Yeah,
I would love to see some barracks come down.
Yeah, I see no reason why you are not building barracks. If you have a civilian, you should have an officer. That is my religion.
Oh yeah. If that number is green, you're doing something wrong.
Exactly. So build the barracks, and you have the stone for it. Maybe we are trying to save the stone for a wonder. Could maybe be an argument for not using the stone currently. That is the one reason not to build barracks if you're saving the stone. But by a large margin, I'd say barracks is the best thing your worker could be doing.
Well, there certainly is a play for tall science here. You have access to Necropolis, which feeds very nicely into Museum, which feeds very nicely into Hagia Sophia. If you wanted to really ramp up to legendary culture, get that huge happiness boost in all of your cities, and net the scientific gains from that. So there is an opportunity for a wonder rush as far as science is concerned as well, to at least a small extent. Not as powerful as, say, having... well, I suppose the museum itself, that's going to do it with a 50% increase to your scientific output.
We are seeing a shift into monasticism instead of portcullis. Monasticism is probably one of the best texts with Kush, as you will be able to spam shrines in all your cities. This is shaping up to be a very exciting mid-game and very different from what I've seen so far in the tournament. But this is also quite a large map with quite a lot of city sites, so it is very much providing an opportunity to a bit more tech-heavy play, and I like that a lot. It's different.
It does feel like the Kush player is feeling the pressure, however. I mean, all of those warriors that came out is certainly going to take the a little bit of the steam out of that, seeing the military scores remain similar. However, you are going to be running into the issue where you have stalled out on your expansion. He's pushing out with some warriors and the spearmen here in the south, but it's not quite fast enough, I don't think, especially considering the speed in which these spears are going to help take out the Numidians for the Egyptian player.
While that is true, you still have 7 cities, and I think 7 cities is enough. Basically, you will still be playing with a great empire capable of building up a pretty strong army, and your opponent is gonna be somewhat limited in his number of orders anywho, so his economy is not gonna be crazy. We need to get to the stage where you are fighting against a player capable of getting the orders out of the extra cities, and he still needs some text to get there, but he does have divine rule already, so he's not far off. If Egypt could get monasticism and get the shrines and religion in all the cities, it would be way more difficult to fight.
That's no small feat. I mean, if you want to talk about orders and how this might progress into the late game, again, Egypt is on a clock because if you have all of these wonders inside of Moreau and the fast track that he's already gotten to his strong level of culture, 22 now produced each turn, still needs a lot more investment in the city to be able to actually truly feel as though it's going to get to legendary in a reasonable time period. But if he chooses to pursue that direction, there's plenty of wonders in the mix that can help him out with that. Again, Necropolis and Mausoleum are certainly capable of ramping him up in that direction. Uh, it, but you boost that even further in case he's able to get his hands on Heliopolis, and then the orders go wildly in the favor of Kush.
Yeah, that is true, and that could maybe be the play you need to pull off. But currently you are looking at a negative 44 from board orders to your legitimacy, so that's 4 orders each turn going in the favor of Egypt. Just from that perspective alone, you need to do something eventually as Ashkush, but he seems like a guy with a plan, so I have confidence in him.
First boat hit the water inside of Egypt. We have the Byram officially down, so ahoy moment. Let's see if they leverage that in any particular capacity or if this is just going to be used for scouting.
I think I would love to just put it in the Arabian Sea just to have it there as a threat, basically. And he is sort of getting ready to stage an offensive in the top north. I think he is having 3 of his units up there along with a slinger. He is building officers in the cities, and yeah, I believe we are gonna see an offensive, and he is having the quality over quantity currently, so definitely an advantage if they were to fight soon for Moroten. But
4 turns on monasticism for Kush, and 3 cards already in the draw pile, so only a 25% chance that he gets phalanx on the next hand. So there is a very strong opportunity for the Egyptian player to really abuse his timing on his UU if there's no clear recovery. And even if he had spears, those ranged light chariots are no joke as far as a head-to-head combat.
it's a rough choice regarding text currently, as Egypt's going for that scholarship. Looking at his choices, he had composite bow, coinage, and architecture. It feels like he's sort of getting ready for an attack while scholarship. If he were going that direction, I would have loved for him going to composite bow instead. I think that would be a better choice. For instance, building that spearman up top seems to me like we are gonna go on the offensive, but maybe it's just for defensive purposes. Maybe he's afraid Kush was stronger just a turn ago, so I get why you may be nervous. And we are seeing a Byram coming online for Kush as well, so maybe.
I mean, as far as the tech choices are concerned, I'm not certain composite bow is the choice. Composite bow is great, and perhaps I'm falling, opposed to Scion's rule, which is who cares about wood upkeep. But I care a little bit about wood upkeep, and if you're grabbing all of those archers, on top of the fact that your units are basically all wood required at that point, there's a little bit of wood in light chariots, there's wood involved in your spears, there's then wood involved in your archers, and you have no access to forestry, then that's a lot of chops necessary just to keep your war machine going. And the order economy isn't necessarily completely tuned up at this point in the game. So maybe. Granted, I don't know if libraries isn't exactly the next number two punch, but if you're going to be in a strong position and maybe able to make some kind of aggressive play between your spears and your light chariots, that's kind of enough of a military mix. You have your mobility, you have your range, and you have your melee front line. So it kind of does check out in case you wanted to really just get aggressive with just the 2 unit makeup for the mixed military.
Look at the science now. We do see the leader being swapped in Egypt. So now we have
Oh,
the smartest zealot I've ever met. 7 wisdom zealot. That is unheard of. But nevertheless, the science has gone down. It has dipped quite a bit. Now there is 8 turns for scholarship. We are not ahead in science per turn, especially not if we count the inquiries being built. And last turn, Necropolis got started by Kush. Kush could definitely just turtle up and be in a decent position. Necropolis, along with Yaselkaya, is such a great combo with Kush. And he's gonna have monasticism in a few turns, which is gonna enable him to get polytheism, 4 shrines around every Kushite pyramid, and those wonders is gonna net infinite civics, basically. It is a very strong setup if you can get there. And
remind me
with
never to play you on Kush.
I mean, I was about to make a comment about lumber before because you are the enjoyer of building unique units, quite expensive regarding lumber, and having no respect for the lumber mill.
That is very true. That is very true. I am certainly the pot calling the kettle black on that one. I will own that. Um,
I took a page out of
Impermanent
your
empty.
book. I took a page out of your book in my last game. I had little wooden comp, but I didn't give a damn.
Yeah, you don't have to worry about long-term economy if you don't plan on trying to even come back if your offensive fails. So if you're going for a full-on haymaker, it works. But this is definitely one of those do as I say, not as I do, guys. Uh,
I mean, there's a window before wood gets too expensive, and if you can close out the game in that window, it's
mm,
it's gonna be perfectly fine. However, if you find yourself in a position without the ability to close out the game and it's a stalemate, and all your powerful units is costing you uh, 2,000 gold, you are gonna have issues.
yeah,
He got he
grinding halt.
he got the ambition for Gnosticism. If he's gonna build temples, he's gonna have quite a lot of disciples. This late game Kush could be absolutely disgusting.
Devastating.
But he's gotta get there. He's gotta get there. But his opponent is taking towards scholarship, which to me speaks. He's not really going for to close the game. I would have gone composite bow here, I think, and just attempted to build
On full
ranged
onto the
officers.
military.
Yeah.
I can respect that.
But I also think the officers themselves is also science in essence. Four officers is better than 2 for the science alone.
Oh no, 100%. I mean, officers are like if you aren't utilizing officers to your full extent out of the multiplayer scene, you're not playing the game right. They are by far the most impactful specialist available to you. Egyptian aggression coming out to this western or this eastern peninsula, coming at the perfect time as a raid initially pops off. 3 units are going to meet him out in the open to be able to clear quite easily before pushing further into the rest of the Vandals. We are now officially at the point where we have club throwers on some of these units, so Fierce is something he's going to have to deal with on 3 of the available units, dealing 5 damage apiece and only doing 5 damage in return. I don't think these 2 spears are
No,
are worth it or enough anymore.
he will need reinforcement. But I gotta give him a lot of credit though. He did build up his economy by quite a bit. 13 workers currently versus Kush sitting at 8 workers only. So the improvements is gonna change quite quickly back in favor of Egypt.
This massive field of farms in the landowner's capital is quite hilarious.
I like it quite a lot. Not a single granary inside. Just spamming those. But I mean, there is a bonus with Egypt, the adjacency bonus, so it's cheaper as well for a lot of these farms. And I wonder if we are gonna see the push for the museum soon. We could, in my opinion, save up for it. We are having 100 extra stone for Egypt.
Big jump up in the science game over on Egypt. One simple assigning in of your zealot leader is going to make up for 16 of the science you were just missing out on a second ago, jumping up to nearly 80. So the small initial lead you had is gone. But it's slow and steady wins the race if you're talking about building your nation up. Although that scholarship play, if this aggression doesn't work out on a UU timing with the spears, then he can fall back on the long-term play with scholarship, which might make sense in the long run as far as keeping up with the potential outcome of Kush's ability to build up their empire.
I like the notes we're seeing from chloriss down in the right corner. I would love for myself to being able to put down notes when I play, but I'm locked in. But he is saying, I wasn't planning to have a builder vizier for so long, trying to figure out how to use this, and the vizier becoming a real issue. But in my experience, it was insanely hard to get rid of them. But maybe it was bad luck. At least the Grand Vizier is severely ill currently, so that is at least something going in our favor, and we should be able to clear this barbarian side with our forces down here. Pretty well calculated, the number of units we brought down here. It seems to be the right number to make this easy enough and not tedious. It seems like we may have the end of the first session coming in soon-ish, in 10 minutes or so.
All right, makes about sense.
They played for around 2 hours and made a lot of progress in those 2 hours, at my ad.
Yeah, some fast play style here from both of the players. Much appreciated as a spectator.
Yeah, really got a... They are also playing on a turn time on medium. I didn't make note of that earlier, but
respect.
Yeah, I like that a lot. And honestly, maybe I should up to play more on medium as well as... Well, I think we may need to practice that later on in the tournament.
Yeah, I mean, depending if the rounds keep ending up the same length that we're currently looking at it. But, it is not even necessarily really the tournament yet. We're still only in qualifiers. So I can, we forget the fact that considering the fact that we already have, I think, more matches played than the entirety of last season. So it's nice to see the community grow, I think, twice as much as we had participants more than last season.
It's fun for everybody involved except the organizers. They are sweating bullets, but I guess they enjoy it as well. So it's all good. It's all good.
Tooting along on scouting as far here in the sea with this one Byreme, considering that all these Vandals are about to hop into the ocean and they could easily get picked off by a good amount by this Zealot. I would like to see it come a little bit more over to per Atom, so that way it can actually hold up some decent defense.
Yeah, that would be a good call. Very cool first session right here, honestly. A lot of cool plays.
Very strong showing from both players.
Yeah, really like what we're seeing from this game. Very interesting first session with, I mean, scholarship is a tech I rarely see, and I always love Kush. I maybe have a sweet spot for Kush like Cyan has for Hati or something to that extent. Okay, nobody can match Cyan, but still. but they seem very evenly matched. Uh, I like the forts we see from up top. Already building forts from Kush is such a great showing. Although
Yeah, perfect.
the one fort without outside our borders, that's can be dangerous. But I mean, we are holding a very strong chokehold right here.
Yeah, it's in
May
the right spot. You're
yeah,
sticking a ranged unit in a fort across a river, whether it's in your borders or not. Who cares? You can always switch over to colonies and grab that. You can always put a shrine right on the other side to bring it into your borders. Plenty of stuff to be able to do to micro that in your favor. So I'm not worried about this positioning. I think it's a lot. I think it's actually a very strong position for that fort.
yeah. And I also look at this hero being uh, standing on ground, stopping a naval invasion. Such a smart play from chloriss. I mean, he's really making it a lot harder to stage an invasion. He doesn't know what's coming, but I I like what I'm seeing from Kush. I think he's even though he got off to maybe a difficult beginning with an opponent having probably one of the best techs in the start, he's really fought his way back. It's I don't know who's ahead currently. And that's not just me bullshitting. I really don't know who's ahead. If you look at the metrics, I think a lot of people would give a huge edge to Egypt, but I know what late game Kush can do, and I think he's setting himself up for going into the late game. So,
I have to agree with that. I think Kush is in not a dominant position, but they're on a good trajectory. Their whole nation's really kind of coming alive right now. Their economy's really coming alive right now. Economically, Egypt is kind of catching up. Scholarship will help that, but frankly, scholarship would be better on Kush here. They have six developing cities, one strong and one weak. Egypt is knuckle dragging in
ah,
comparison. Six
I,
weak cities, one developing, one strong.
I gotta interrupt you. We are building the Mahavihara in Egypt.
Ah,
He also had an ambition for that wonder, so maybe that's one of the reasons we opted to go in that direction. It's honestly one of the wonders I rated lowest in my recent video with Alcaraz, but he is going for scholarship. He may end up making this work. I love this. I'm so sad this game is gonna end very soon because this is no, play on, guys. This is fast. This is entertaining. This is a very interesting build up. I like this a lot. Damn, it's cool. Wonderful stuff, and lovely having you to join me, Bull Moose.
was an absolute pleasure. I caught this one just on the tail end. I finished up a meeting, and I'm like, oh well, I might let's have a little bit of fun this afternoon.
Yeah, I love to see it. And don't get me wrong, I like they don't continue on for 4 more hours because it is getting not late, but it is 10 in the evening, and I have work tomorrow, so I would love to see see my bed within the next at least 2 hours. So
But yes, if you can hear us guys from the future, much appreciated to both players for the amazing pace of play. 52 turns, 2 hours into the game, very well done. And a good showing on a very fast timing speed.
yeah, looking at the orders, we are seeing Kush slowly catching up. We are seeing them catching up in science. The military score slightly ahead, but not really anything that matters. I think it's gonna be a game of can you, as Kush, fight an opponent that opted to go for scholarship early?
Yeah.
And I
I
don't
mean, it's
know.
going to take a little bit of game knowledge for him seeing the Mahadivara and as come down as a wonder pick and knowing that to facilitate that wonder being any good, they have to be going for scholarship. But Kush is a turtle nation more often than not. So I don't imagine that we're going to be seeing it really jump up to an aggressive play anytime soon. So we'll see. Which player can kind of outgreed the other one versus individual nation building. It might be a bit of a Sim City matchup.
Yeah, and I honestly think even though they kind of had the opportunity to engage after 20 turns or so in the north, I think it's the best choice for both players to not really dedicate all their forces to that engagement. So yeah,
2
I
years until scholarship, 2 years until Magi Archers. It'll be a very interesting dichotomy on those two picks.
yeah, God
First light chariot will hit the
God
pace in 6
God
years.
damn it, guys, why do we have to end this already? We're just getting to the real good stuff.
We'll see.
I gotta give props to Moroten how he or the timing was maybe a bit lucky, but anyways, those two spearmen coming in, killing the vandals without any issues whatsoever, and the zealot on the boat is gonna clear the invading force, or at least a lot of it. Two settlers for the or turns for the settler. Lovely timing overall by Moroden. And we do see four laws to four laws. We do see why on earth are we seeing monotheism in Kush? That is a surprise to me. You can build the greatest shrines in the world.
Hmm. Yeah, that's interesting.
That is we do have a judge, so we can quite easily swap in and swap out, and we have amazing civics income. So I see
Sure.
I
But
see I
you're
see a
only getting three
reason.
orders from that law. 4 orders from that law.
I mean, four orders is not nothing.
It's not nothing. It's about as good as divine rule gets. So I hear you. But yeah, I definitely would like to see. I mean, I
May
would love to see a mythology play here. Quite frankly, I mean, if you're going for a very take things as high as you possibly can, then I would like to see that huge culture gain coming in from all the shrines in all of the cities.
yeah, that could be a play as well, honestly. Uh, it could be a play, but
Mythology, dualism, or Gnosticism.
yeah, save after your turn. Yeah, see, seemingly we're
Till
getting
next
to.
time.
I think they scheduled the next for Sunday, perhaps, but I'm not entirely sure. But
Well, if it's Sunday, I should be around to be able to join you on another stream if you'd have me.
I'll always love to have you. But yeah, we'll see. I'm not certain about it. But just to maybe look a bit at the stats here in the end, we do see the improvements controlled quite close. Early on, Kush had an advantage, but Egypt has caught up. The science is we are seeing Egypt ahead, but only by 400. He is ahead by 20 each turn, but it's not
Not
impossible.
insurmountable.
Not
Not
at all.
insurmountable.
And orders also quite close currently. Military score quite close currently. And a game that could go in a multitude of directions. I love this. And
Yeah, and honestly, with the exception of iron, even the economies have become quite similar. Food and stone pretty much neck and neck. A big divergence in iron, however, 50 to 7.
yeah,
But
but
yeah, I mean, it's a tight game. It's anybody's game at this point, quite frankly. We'll see how well Kush can navigate the aggression coming out of a UU push.
yeah,
That's going to be the big defining factor. But with two free Medjay archers coming out next turn, I put their chances a lot higher.
and the wonders, as we said before, the Yaselkaya and Necropolis combo is gonna give Kush so many civics, which is gonna help their science a lot. Building barracks, everything is great. I'm looking forward to this. Everybody, this has been the second round of the ongoing Old World tournament in a game between Moroden as Egypt playing versus Chloriss or Dimas commanding Kush. I've been Baldus and I was joined by the Purple Bull Moose, and We hope this game is going to continue. I think it's going to be Sunday, but in the meantime, there's going to be plenty of old world content for you to see. So, yeah, take a look around and hope you enjoyed the show. Thank you for watching.
Bye, everybody.
Bye bye.